All right, we walking and pushing the buggy, y'all. So check it. Yeah, we got the girl. Anyway, let me see. It looks better. Let me see. Okay. No, I just thought. Anyway, pushing my granddaughter in a buggy. See in there. And the battle is gonna see is right. So you know I ain't sparing myself, let alone anybody else in love. So anyway, I want to talk about that thing on, we'll go out here in the woods so I don't get shot. You know, shoot, you never know. Things is getting crazy, but God is my help, so we'll go out here. Okay, so on divine right. I want to talk about divine right because that was the thing the Pope came up with, 1400s, that basically said that, you know, that religion is the dictators of you know, the world. And what I'm saying is we just gotta keep knowing that we all are made equal in God's eyes. I let my grandma see some of the sky. There she go. Oh, okay. And basically, you know, we all are created equal, and this is God's land in every continent. And he put people on every continent, and that's where their land was, how it fell. Where the problem came in, people got greedy, more land than what they probably was needed, and they went and conquered other lands. And that's where the problem started as far as, and they thought that God told them to do it, and go beat them up, kill them, and preach Christ. And that was a mistake. It stumbled a lot of people and generations and nations. But however, I understand, you know. But here's the thing. All men are created equal. A kid can understand that. You don't have to go no farther. Thank God on that. But as far as civil rights go, white people, and I'm going to speak in edification of white people being black, have helped push black people good intentions in their boats. And with them, we wouldn't have been able to secure political positions and things of that nature, just being a very small percent of the population, just us alone. And so that political thing is, even in that, like people were right there. Civil War, no matter what they knew they was fighting for. But I'm going to leave the Civil War out. But some thought slavery was wrong. What about that? And today you have a movement of people that would love to help the hood. Yeah, they just don't know how of what's going on. And they know what the cause and effect and the laws of sowing and reaping and the injustices. You know, and that's something everyone is very conscious of. And I would just like to say that, you know, right, all white people aren't bad. Speaking to the hood. Matter of fact, they're human beings. And they're not all trying to kill you. There are black and white people on the cops. Not all cops are bad. Because the six that drew down on me looking for the smoke, the heater, when the heater had been fired. The bottom line, well, they stopped, man, and from shooting me. Somehow compliance went in, and the black cop fell to the ground out of the 5 white ones and said, man, I almost shot you. They were glad because they thought they were coming into place looking for the guy with the gun, but I didn't realize what was going on. I just went to the door, but my partner had shot the gun off accidentally. And the bottom line was they was coming in looking for the person with the gun. I'm behind the door. So I saw them cry like babies. So again, and then also when the dirty work is done and the military's not fighting, the police got to answer that call, man, on the homie that's beating the crap. Let's say to the hood, to the black African Americans, to the okay, we out here wherever I'm at here. You can see a little bit way out here, right? So if you get a call way out in these rural areas, who gonna come? Police. And they gotta go in there and stop the guy with the weapon or the thing that's robbing you, raping your daughter, or killing you in some kind of way. And it is the police gotta answer that call. You ain't gonna jump up and go in there and stop the killer. You might if you strap, but that ain't gonna be no everyday thing. So on that note, there you have it. So we gotta be knowing that even to the Hebrews, the Gentiles been called in too, to the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? And therefore also, you gotta look at it in this sense. Divine right is a straight lie from the pit of hell. Kingdom of God ain't gonna look like what's been created since it was decreed. And it ain't gonna look like what it is now. Us capitalizing off each other to the fullest dollar. But divine right, though it be a lie, what's fair is from the Crips and Bloods from my hood, the people that pay the most bodies, they reign. Or they don't reign, but they get a portion first, pick. Honor to those that drop the most bodies. These homies dropped 17 in Chicago, little baby gang girl, on the YouTube. They honor that. They honor the fact that she dropped 17. Well, during the first World War I and World War II, World War I, they didn't let the brothers really go in. The Civil War, we got in there. World War I, we got in there. But I'm going to tell you, it was a whole lot of white people died. So now, it would flip it. If they hadn't died, and your race and my race, and the majority, if the majority of the race was their race, I mean, if you count the bodies, I don't know how many, but whoever dropped the most bodies, they should have a right to pick. Well, okay, I want to live here. We the tribe of Caleb. Okay, we can get along with that. That's no problem. Honor up, cause if they drop more bodies to get the territories or whatever, the World War I to keep them back too, and that's what it was about. That's a different thing. That's not divine right though. That's honoring those people that the majority of their tribes, or millions or more of their tribes than any other tribes, died in war. And therefore, you know, as African Americans, we respect that. So if they wanted to, let's say the beaches, okay, no problem. Hell, they paid for it, whatever they want. But here's where they messed up. They sowed the seed, but then they wanted it all. And that's where you guys messed up. And now what you have today from that seed is what you have today. We have a lot of we have a lot of confusion about land and about what the white man got and what all, and the wealth and the way it went down. So it didn't go down fair That's right. My people got used. They were 245 years or whatever it was. Maybe 345. Somebody said, listen, it don't matter. 400 years of slavery is good enough for me. That's a lot with no pay. But the point I'm trying to make is it should have been fairly equally distributed. They can get first picks if they drop the most bodies. That's fair to honor that and say, okay, you dropped the most bodies. Slavery was going on, all of this. And the next one better be beside him. Gotta be the blacks and the Latinos or whoever was there. And I know blacks that was there laboring. I think Latinos back then went to war. Y'all Google it, find out all that information. Who dropped the most bodies? Okay, so then picking fairly, if they would have been fair, you hear what I'm saying? First picks, no problem. But the bottom line, you have to divide equally if you're a God, country, Christian, fearing nation. So because of the greed and covetousness and lust of the eyes, pride of life, and lust of the flesh, the intentions was well, you can only accomplish those by the ministry of the Holy Spirit, giving you the strength to be fair and honest. So since it wasn't even distribution, is what you have the seed sown back there is what is hatched today. And it is bigger than these trees that you see in that background. The little seed don't came up. And now there's big fight in the political parties and everybody else that want to know about hatred, civil war, and everything demon that was in the past now is come up. And you know, in one sense, both have a good point. One that said stop drugs from coming in your communities is destroying it. But the government wouldn't send out the planes to stop the drugs that could see underground and stop that thing. If it was nuclear arms, they would have stopped it. That was a miss. And on the other hand, one crying out for the poor as far as fair housing. You see what I'm saying? You mix those 2 points together, you got something. The point is, there is no divine right. There's only the wars. And whoever dropped the most bodies had first picks, but you couldn't go it past, as a Christian nation, you couldn't say, okay, I'm going to take it all. And that looks like what probably had happened, I think, is what we see today, and others are catching up and coming along. But I don't think God intended white people to take as much as they did. If you were going to let it rip fairly for everybody, and that was missed in the past, well, we see the confrontation and sowing and reaping, cause and effect happening today. And it's just something that we have to deal with. So on the issues of a manifest destiny, civil rights, and how many people have walked white with blacks and every other kind of nationality, and voting as far as political go to put us where we are. You see them on NBC, TVN, See the fruit. And then the wars were the thing that stopped the war. My grandbaby wants to say hi, I guess. I don't know. Say hi. Yeah. The wars is where the bodies fell for the land. And nothing wrong with, okay, I would like to live here, me and my tribe. But it had to be tribal. Then you did it for all that could come here. And then, you know, fairly get a fair shot. And let me say this. God help you if we didn't do the right thing. And that's the sin we need to confess. There was inequality probably from the beginning. And all people were probably not included. And at that time, especially blacks. And because of that fact, that missing ingredient in that pie, the nation's being forced to live out her creed by circumstance. Because we all need each other now, for sure. But one thing you don't want to do is go to war with the Lord when you are being humbled. You want to just relax and let the principle fight for you with mercy. Because there's the only thing left is sowing and reaping and consequence and justice and judgment. We don't need another plague coming up in here, man. So let's just say our forefathers sinned. They sinned against the land. They sinned against the brethren. And that's just the sins of the fathers. And I confess them. You don't have to. And Lord, heal our land. Heal our land by healing our hearts and causing a latter rain of outpouring of your spirit today for our children, so that our children's children can be able to walk down these old country roads and go to sleep as these buggies are pushed like they did in 1850 when they first got to California. God bless you. Project Restoration, Jeremiah 23 in Hoods. This is a marathon, the battle for the seed. That's why we run. God bless.